Okay, what I'm going to be doing today is a first look at Stalker called Pripyat. I was surprised yesterday that it showed up for sale on Steam because I thought it was going to come later in the year. There was no advertising or anything. I just was on Steam and I saw that it was released. Now that seems kind of strange to me, and the price on it's kind of cheaper than what I would think too, so we'll talk about that here in a second. So I'm going to go ahead and clock my cards up a little bit. Of course, Stalker Call of Pripyat is DirectX 11, and it is very intensive. The graphics are awesome. Now this is my old camera. I have a new HD camera coming in the mail, so the video, you won't be able to tell how good the graphics are, but hopefully when I get my new camera I'll do the video again. So this is the same beginning as what we remember for Stalker Clear Sky from the same company. Now we'll be watching this on my Dell 30-inch monitor, which is a wonderful monitor. I got two HD 5970s in Crossfire, and it's all going through the display port. Here's a quick look at my computer. I'll be doing a review on it when I get my high definition camera. Okay, here's the beginning of Stalker. I've already set up all my settings and everything, so I won't have to do that. I will go ahead and click on New Game, and we won't be able to watch the entire opening scene just because of length requirements. And so let me go ahead and click on Rookie. Now one thing that this game does differently than the last one is it just drops you down. I mean, you'll see some stuff, it tells you about where you're at in the series, and then it drops you down right in the middle of the field. Okay, here's the story.
At 0123 on April 26, 1986, the reactor of Power Block 4 of Chernobyl NPP is destroyed following a series of thermal explosions. The resulting radioactive cloud moves across the European part of the USSR, Eastern Europe, and Scandinavia, eventually reaching America. The consequences of the disaster are so serious that the government is forced to begin evacuating the residents of nearby towns and villages. A 30-kilometer exclusion zone is created to stop residents from returning to the contaminated area. Despite the disaster, the Chernobyl NPP continues to operate. The existence of the power station, as well as the fact that the area is no longer inhabited, leads the consulate ministers of the USSR to set up a network of secret laboratories in the exclusion zone. June 11, 2006. The exclusion zone lights up with a flash of blinding light as clouds can be seen evaporating in the sky. After a moment of complete silence, a peal of...
Okay, I went ahead and hit the escape key on that because I tried doing the previous video with the entire beginning and it went over the 10 minutes that YouTube allows, so it gives you a little background on what happened. It tells you what your current mission is, which you're apparently a major for the USSR, and there's several downed helicopters that you got to go and research. Okay, now here's the game. I'm telling you what, it looks wonderful. A lot of people say Crysis has the best video or the best photorealistic video possible. I promise. I think Stalker, including the older Stalkers, with this one have just the same quality of graphics, if not better. This one looks absolutely fabulous. Now, with my old camera, you can't really tell that. Okay, here's the opening screen here, and you can see the difference here from what we had with the previous Clear Sky game. Now, some of the things that were wrong with previous games, they've really worked on and fixed on this game. One of the things that was wrong with the previous game was in the original Shadow of Chernobyl, you'd have to run around, and it took forever. I mean, the maps were huge. You had to run from one place to the next when you tried to sell stuff, and it just took forever. The game got long and boring. That's what I felt with the game. Now with the second iteration of the game, Stalker Clear Sky, they fixed that some. I think they did a good job, but it wasn't a solution. What they done is they had guides at certain spots on the maps, and you could talk to them and they could take you immediately to another place, but it cost you a fair amount of money, which I didn't think was good. What they need to incorporate is something what Fallout 3 does, where as long as you're not being attacked or you're by yourself, you can pull up your map, click on where you want to go, and it has what's called fast travel. I think that would be a good idea with the previous Stalkers. Now what they did to help along that problem from previous Stalkers is down here is your stamina bar, and I'll show you right now. I can run, and it's almost like you can run forever. So you can see it's barely going down. So I think it still has guides in it where they can help you fast travel to places, but with that amount of stamina, I have no artifacts that helps me with it right now, and I'm not heavy, but see how quickly it builds back up? I think you could basically run anywhere in the map and not have a problem. The second biggest change I want you all to notice is over here. In the previous games, one of the biggest problems I had with it was you had quick keys for the medic pack and the bandages, and so if you were being attacked, you could fix yourself and not die quickly. The bad part was, if you look down here and you see the radiation medication, you could not use the radiation medication without getting in your inventory, clicking on the medication, hit use. So if you were in an area that had high radiation, you couldn't use it, because then you'd start dying again. You couldn't do anything. So what they've added, which is a great feature down here, is the 4 quick keys. I have mine set up as F9, F10, F11, F12. So I can go ahead and use a quick medic pack, I can use a quick bandage, and also I can eat food right away, and I can use the main part is the radiation. So if I'm in a high radiation area, I just hit the quick key and I can still continue to do whatever task I'm doing. So I like that. Let's look at the inventory here for a second. It's changed a little bit. A gripe I had with previous games were ammunition. Each weapon has 2 types of ammunition basically, and it was always hard for me to tell what ammunition went with what guns. I'd have to pull it up and read it and it'd tell me what it is, and then I'd have to go over to the weapon and see what it was and see if it was compatible. Well, they fixed that by, if you hover over the weapon, they actually show you the icons of the ammunition that will work with it, which is awesome. So now I can just look there and I know if I'm looking on a dead body or I'm buying something in the store, I look for those icons, which matches that one, and that means I have the correct ammunition. That is awesome. Another part is you actually have a headpiece and a bodysuit, where before they were combined. Now I haven't looked into how that helps or anything, but the inventory looks about the same roughly. Okay, another part I want to talk about is that up here. In the previous game, one of my biggest gripes was if you were out in the middle of darkness and had your night vision on, and it didn't matter. If you were next to an enemy, they would see you. Well, now, if I fire the weapon, see how the sound level builds up? Hopefully this will allow you to use stealth in here, and I have not tested that, but I will. That was one of my biggest gripes. You'd be decked out and be next to someone, they couldn't see you, but they would know you were there. I hated that. Also, they've added the time here, which is good. It's helpful, I guess. Now for the negative thing I've seen with the game, and hopefully this won't be the case, but I've zoomed out on the map entirely. Let me drag it down here. This is the entire map right here. Compared to the other maps of the Stalkers, it is small. It looks like, here's Pripyat, which is where the finale is. Looks like I could just walk there. And you can see me walking, so you get the scale of it. But I really hope that's not why it was only 30 bucks, is because the map is so small. So again, I will have a follow-up video. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. You can go ahead and subscribe or rate it. Thank you.